Good evening, everyone. This is Fritz Benz, and I am your child's music tech and production teacher. And right off the bat, I'd like to apologize for the fact that you're watching this video right now. I unfortunately couldn't be there this evening, but I did have the opportunity. Since this is a technology class, it's more than appropriate for me to share some thoughts with you using technology. So here I am on video. I want to thank my students, Morgan and Bridget Hall, Morgan Quinley and Bridget Hall, for helping me out tonight and for passing out some materials and for starting this video. So anyway, if you're here, you're obviously sitting in our lab in Lab 98. This is a beautiful computer lab we're very lucky to have. We obtained all of this equipment that you see in this room, including the carpeting and the air conditioning. All of this was procured along with all of the computers throughout the music suite with an $80,000 Champlin grant. If you may or may not have read about it in the paper last year, but we were very lucky to get this grant and to be able to support a class like music tech, which really puts kids into a very authentic, very unique environment with which to learn music. It's a very interesting environment. We are a project-based classroom, so kids, when they come in, they are always working on or toward some type of project that will help teach them about how music works. And although we do a lot with technology, we do a lot of skills with the computer, it is first and foremost a music class. And that's the thing that I always come back to. We always come back to musical concepts. But we're learning those concepts in very contemporary ways. So I thought I would go through some of the things about the course. I talked a little bit about it being a project-based environment. Your child's grade is almost wholly dependent upon daily projects that they do. It might be a short little assignment that they complete and that I grade, or it might be a long-term assignment. We've got projects that take 3 or 4 days. We've got one project that they're going to work on at the end of the year. The film score is going to take them probably a couple of weeks. So I'd like to just sort of outline some of the units that we do and what we're learning in this class. So we begin in this first unit. We're actually now coming to a close with an exploration of digital music making. So we use a workhorse program for us. It's a digital audio program called Mixcraft 5, and we use Mixcraft as our go-to digital audio workstation. So what that means is we can use this program to record ourselves either musically or with our voice. We can use this to mix and match different kinds of audio files, whether they be audio or computer-generated MIDI, and we use it as a place with which we can analyze audio files as well. So it really is a program that we use quite a bit. We've had a lot of students actually like the program so much that they buy it at home, and you can actually get Mixcraft. You could Google it. Mixcraft, I think, is available for like $79. You can download it on your own computer at home, and it's really a great program for kids to explore composing and arranging and be able to create loop-based sequences and mixes, and it's really quite interesting. So what we're doing in this first unit is we're exploring that program, exploring the keyboard and the sounds that a keyboard can make. We do a lot of work with mixing and balancing compositions, trying to come up with a mix that sounds more musical, talk about the reasons why we mix things a certain way, whether we put things in the left or the right channel or add effects or play with the volume levels of individual tracks. We do a lot of creating in this class, particularly of loop-based songs, but we also create original works at the keyboard. And as I said, a lot of this first unit is really about exploring music from the vantage point of utilizing this program and seeing and hearing the way music is put together. So that's coming to a close, and we're going to be transitioning very shortly into our first keyboard unit. So we have a basic keyboard playing unit where we learn at these workstations, left and right hand piano, and again we use the technology to assist us with this. So we have some audio tracks that we import into Mixcraft, play along with those tracks, make recordings, and I'll give them a lot of instruction in class for how to improve their keyboard skills. So they learn two hands, learning to read the bass and the treble clefs, learning basic C position, playing chords with the left hand, playing melodies with the right hand. It's kind of a contemporary approach to learning the piano as opposed to a strictly classical approach. And then we do some things where we play together. We actually play in 3 and 4 parts, which is kind of fun. We transition out of that into an exploring digital audio and multimedia even further. So we start adding layers of of depth to the basic topics we do. So we start creating arrangements and original music. Using a variety of multimedia tools, we create web presentations, and at the end of the quarter, we're actually going to create a podcast where the students will discuss on an audio track all of the work that they talk about, their favorite work that they developed. This is a great opportunity for me to listen to the voice of the student as they talk about their own work. I always enjoy listening to these, but it also involves a lot of technical skills to create a podcast. It's much like creating any audio production for radio or for television. So they're going to create an audio-based podcast and develop some skills using a free program called Audacity. So they'll be working on that as well. We're going to transition out of that into the second quarter into what we call our rhythm, melody, and MIDI basics unit. And from there, we're going to take a look at some basic forms in music. We're going to look at canons, which is a traditional classical type of form. We're going to get into rhythms and creating drum loops and how to incorporate those drum loops and drum parts into existing compositions. We'll be composing some original melodies with around certain parameters and guidelines. And we'll learn how to manipulate MIDI files. We'll learn a little bit more about what they are, how to make them sound realistic in a digital environment, and how to combine them with actual real files from actual audio recordings of things. Going into the second semester, if your kids continue on into Music and Tech Production 2, we're going to do a lot of work with composing and notation program. We use the Finale program to do musical composition. We'll be entering songs. We'll be composing new things. We'll be rearranging music using notation. We'll get into an advanced keyboard unit or a more intermediate level keyboard unit where they'll learn more chords, more different types of melodies. And all of this will culminate with our final unit where they'll start working on soundscapes, which is an audio surrounding, resulting audio file to surround the narration of a poem. And that's similar to like a books on tape kind of thing. If you've ever heard an audio book, you'll hear music in the background. You'll hear dramatic reading of the text by an actor, perhaps. They're going to do a similar type of thing where they'll take a piece of poetry and create an audio soundscape with sound effects and music and whatnot. And that'll set the stage for the last unit of the year where they'll work on an original soundtrack for a film score. They're going to get a 3 or 4 minute clip from an actual Hollywood movie, and I wipe all the sound clean from the track. Then they're going to compose their own music for it. They're going to do all of their own sound effects. We're going to do a lot of compositional projects, a lot of keyboard projects, and a lot of technology projects leading up to that whole project, which are all sort of setting the stage for completing this big project at the end of the year. So we're really looking forward to all of this work. Your kids have shown a great ability to work independently and stay on task. We expect to see some great work out of them, and they'll have a lot of wonderful things that they'll be able to use in their senior portfolio when they graduate. So, again, thank you for being here. If you have any more questions or anything that I can answer for you, you can give me a call, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to do what I can to answer your questions. And again, maybe my students here might be able to help you. They haven't taken the class, but certainly your kids can you can have a more informed conversation with your son or daughter about what they're doing in this class. I think from maybe talking to me or at least seeing this video, I hope. So, okay, looking forward to hearing from you if you have a question. And if not, thanks for coming tonight. Please check that parent portal for how your child's doing so you can keep up with all of their classes. And thank you for coming tonight and being involved with your child's education. We'll see you soon. Thanks.